This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a Coney dog right now.
Darren McCarty comes back with Neiman in front of him. McCarty draws. McCarty in. McCarty scores! He makes it a goal! Darren McCarty!
Stafford takes, throws.
Middle Tennessee is the greatest! Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast. What the hell is that?
The people aren't happy with you, Vinny.
What the hell did I do? Oh my God!
They're not happy with you.
What did I do?
You got to bring it up. You brought it up right out the gate.
Oh, well, Ziggy Potts, man.
And you don't even know the name.
I don't
you
even
don't know
care.
anything about men's basketball.
I don't want to look at 17-year-old kids dribbling a basketball. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
it's creepy as hell to me.
Elephant in the room.
Oh, whatever.
Michigan State lost in the first round to Middle Tennessee State. 2 lost to a 15. And,
a 1 lost to a 15. You guys wanted the 1 spot.
So what I will say to that, though, yeah, we may have. It was probably the closest you'll ever get to a 1 or a 16 beating a 1. But I don't think Middle Tennessee was a true 15 seed. They probably should have been rated higher. Just like Stephen F. Austin, that's another team. They're a 14 seed. They beat West Virginia. Middle Tennessee State was probably closer to a 12 or a 13 seed. But nonetheless, we can't really defend it. Michigan State, I'm not going to say that it was a bad season because they did have a really good season up until that point. They went undefeated in their non-conference schedule. They beat really good teams. They beat Kansas, who was probably the favorite now to win the tournament. They went on to win the Big Ten tournament. And Middle Tennessee State, they played a perfect game. And the entire game watching it, I think every Spartan fan, I'm not sure. I kind of thought at some point that it was gonna stop and they were gonna get the lead. I mean, John, was there a point that you thought that they were gonna come back?
I mean, no point in the game did they have a lead. They started off 2-2, and then all of a sudden, Middle Tennessee State got off to that 15-2 run. Every time that the Sparties would make a run, it seemed like Middle Tennessee State would hit that big shot. And a lot of people are talking about Michigan State wasn't ready to play, which is shocking. But
yeah, I mean, they had 2 or 3 times where they had pretty good runs. They brought it back to within 2 or 3 points. But every single time that happened, it always seemed that then the Blue Raiders would come down. They'd either hit 3 or they'd get just an easy basket, an uncontested, maybe even an and one. And then after that, they would continue that with getting another steal or a quick rebound on a fast break point, and the lead would be back up to around 8. And it just seemed like Michigan State, they didn't have a game plan, and they couldn't stop them.
Was that the worst loss in Michigan State basketball history?
Yes.
I think a lot of people are saying, okay, Judd Heathcote's last game versus Weber State back in 95 was devastating because, they had Sean Respert and they had a team that was poised as a number 3 seed. This team was a number 2 seed, and a lot of people not only had them advancing far, almost 20% of the entire country had Michigan State winning the entire tournament. So this is an upset of massive proportion, but for me, I was only devastated really for a couple hours because I was talking to Adam about this. I've seen this before. We've gotten to the finals and not played good. We've gotten eliminated at least 4 times in the first round. So this is nothing new. I think this one hurts more because of the fact that we were really poised to make a run and win it all.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for weeks that they were going to win it. That this is their year. They won the Big Ten championship. They finished on they had won their final 9 games, I think. That's probably what stung the most. It's one of the worst losses, especially in the Tom Izzo era. I think one that might sting a little bit more for me, no doubt, it sucks to lose in the first round, a 2 losing to a 15. I was there in Ford Field when we just got manhandled by North Carolina in the finals.
But didn't you going into that game kind of think that Michigan State was going to lose? That was a game where they had to play flawlessly. They played great against UConn to get to that point, but North Carolina was a powerhouse team. They started off slow, and you figured, okay, North Carolina's a powerhouse. So it was not a game where it was devastating. It was devastating in that you seen in the second half, if Michigan State would have played their A game in the first half, could have been closer.
But that's why it's more devastating, is because you're in the national championship game
in your house,
and that's why all the people who are saying that this is the worst loss and for all Michigan State sports. I'm not even sure if this is really the worst loss for Michigan State in just this calendar year, because I would say that the Alabama loss, just shitting the bed, that was probably worse than this. Which, yeah, I get it. We lost in the first round, but you're a game away. You finally made the college football playoffs, and you're so close, and you don't do anything.
Vinny, what did you think? What was your experience? I know you were one of the first people.
I only watched the second half.
Okay, what were you thinking?
You guys never had to lead the entire time. I couldn't believe it. Like Middle Tennessee, I don't even know anybody on Middle Tennessee. It was shocking to me. And then why are you guys gonna cry at the podium at the end of the game, bro? Like, you can't lose the Middle Tennessee State Blue Ridge and cry. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, they're upset because they knew what they could have done.
They needed to shut up. Valentine needed to keep his mouth shut and practice harder because they didn't take them serious, and that's what they get.
He almost had a triple-double.
Syracuse didn't even belong in there, and they blew them out by 15 points.
I think, and it really is the case that Middle Tennessee State, they played a perfect game. They played it the way that they played Michigan State the way that they needed to do. And what I saw going in and what I saw during the game is that Michigan State beats you when they control the ball, when they can get the pass, they can pass around the perimeter, they can go in on the inside. And they were making individual players beat them. They were double and triple teaming whoever was at the point. And what you saw was Matt Costello was kind of the beneficiary of all that. And I don't really know why they didn't go to him more, because he always seemed to be single covered, and he was effective, but they didn't go back to him. It was always a Bryn Forbes jump shot or a Denzel Valentine, a really too early three. And isn't that one of the things that you hate about Michigan State is they take so many early threes. It kills you.
It does, and especially if you're not hitting them. I felt like they definitely should have went inside more, and it was just a game where it really was shocking in the fact that in the Big Ten tournament, you've seen that they were able to turn on the defensive intensity versus Purdue. It just seemed like they gave Middle Tennessee way too much respect, and they weren't ready at all. Middle Tennessee was a team that was just on that night making a lot of threes, and they were giddied up. And then what happens is, like you see all the time, they got the confidence early after that 15-2 start, and they said, you know what? We can come out here and win this game. And they get that tournament courage, and they were able to effectively take down Michigan State. Now, a lot of people who are Michigan fans, I understand, had the ability to now pile on and say that this is probably one of the worst losses in NCAA history. It ranks up there, but it's not the worst upset. I mean, Duke lost to Lehigh. There's been lots of upsets. There were lots of situations where teams have fallen.
Talking about Duke?
Everybody has those.
Everybody has those kind of games. I don't think it ranks up there, though, because of the expectations, but it is not the single worst loss in the tournament history. I can't give them that.
Duke, it might be the worst.
No.
It's the biggest loss in MSU history.
No, it's not.
Duke lost to Lehigh, but how many championships does Mike Krzyzewski have?
He has a lot, but doesn't make the situation for Michigan State any different. What happens is that on a given night, a team that doesn't show up is going to get beat. And if you watch Michigan State, they are prone to have these kind of performances. Michigan State is not above having bad performances and being able to win. So if they have that performance against Syracuse, they were going to lose. Michigan State's not Kentucky. They're not North Carolina. They're just below a top 5 program, maybe from 5 through 10. And you need great performances, like Adam said on our podcast. If they were going to lose, they're going to miss shots. They're going to have situations where they turn the ball over a lot. They're not going to play great. They're not above playing their C game and being able to advance. So they played a terrible game, and Middle Tennessee brought their A-plus game, and that's what happened. It's not the worst loss in NCAA tournament history. It's a bad loss, but there have been worse.
I'm looking at the stats for this game, and it really doesn't make a lot of sense. They really do look even, statistic-wise. Though the one big thing is the three-point percentage, where Michigan State shot 45%, which is still really good for a three-point percentage. But Middle Tennessee State shot close to 58%. Everything else, they're all really close. They rebounds, Michigan State won by 2. We had more assists. I mean, the turnovers. I mean, we had 4 more turnovers. The main thing that I felt, because I was watching it while I was on the board, and my first reaction was anger, and I played as many drops as I could because I was so upset. But after that, it was mainly just shock because I mean, you didn't expect it, you didn't see that happening, and really you're just gonna have to move on to next year.
And now the big question for Michigan State going forward is, how do you rebound as a program after a loss like that? And now you're starting to get that talk. Okay, is Davis going to leave after 1 year? He's starting to be projected, and by all accounts, the talk is he could be a lottery pick. And I don't know if you turn down guaranteed money like that to come back to Michigan State. He's getting a lot of advice that he would benefit from staying at Michigan State 1 more year to see what it's like to be the man, to add on weight, to gain some more tutelage from Tom Izzo and the recruiting class. If he stays and Michigan State has the number 1 recruiting class, and maybe, just maybe, the number 1 recruit might come there, then you have a strong chance to go out and maybe be the number 1 or number 2 pick overall if you have a great season. So I'm leaning and hoping that he decides to stay. But if he's projected to be a top 15 pick and you go 10 through 15, he might leave. And it might be bad for Michigan State. There's no guarantee. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to come back stronger and things like that. They're going to have a young team. They're going to have a team like Kentucky, bunch of freshmen that might be one-and-done guys. This could be a whole new situation for Michigan State and really a blown opportunity. It could be a really bad thing for Michigan State.
I'm going to treat next season kind of the same way that I treat every Michigan State basketball season, and it's really wait until March. That's really what it's going to be. Izzo is going to get his team up. There's not going to be a drop off. They're still probably going to be in the mix for the Big Ten championship next year. But yeah, that's going to be the big thing. Deontay Davis, I really think it would be a mistake for him to leave, but I guess I get it. It's hard to turn down that money, but I really see if he does go out in the draft, he's probably going to be on a D-League team, and that's as high as he's going to get. He would really benefit. I mean, Denzel Valentine, this loss probably does hurt his draft value, but he's a better player for playing 4 years in that Tom Izzo team.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it's going to significantly drop. It is a little chink in the armor, but this might actually benefit him long-term in his career because he's always going to be hungry. He's always going to want to, really prove the naysayers wrong. But I give a guy like that credit. He was asked a question, and he answered it. He guaranteed the victory, and he was right there in front of the media answering all the questions. So, hey, all credit. He had a great 4 years. It's just the end is not so good. He shouldn't be judged by it, but that's what happens.
Middle Tennessee State, they shot 56% field goal, 57% from three-point. You want to know what they did against Syracuse?
What'd they do?
Syracuse, they shot 30% from field goal range.
Exactly.
And 33% from the three-point.
And you guys didn't want Syracuse in the tournament.
Yeah.
They still don't belong in the tournament.
They're in the Sweet 16. That's the nature of the NCAA tournament. Any given night, one and done. And that happened to Michigan State. They're going to have to rebound. Before we move on, Tom Izzo, and you look at the grand scheme of things, this has happened to him before. They've had wild rides in the tournament. Look at last year. Last year there was no expectations. They thought that this kind of thing would happen last year. To that team to the Final Four. This year, great expectations, and you got great disappointment. Overall, he's a great coach, but you start to think, well, hey, he's been there quite a bit of time. He's always there barking at the players. He's had a lot of Final Four success. He just hasn't been able to break through and get that second title. In your opinion now, are you starting to think, well, will Tom Izzo ever get that second title, or will he? I know he'll get back.
Going to.
He'll get back to the Final Four. I could almost guarantee that.
I don't think he's going to stay.
That's true. There could be talks about leaving for the NBA, or that he just might not be able to get back to that promised land and win that second title. My confidence is starting to go a little bit down that second ring's coming. He might just be a one-ring guy, and that might be it.
It's possible, but even if he does finish as with one championship, I still think he goes down as one of the best coaches. I mean, he's going to be in the top 10 to top 15 coaches of all time, but you got to put him below all those guys who have
multiple titles.
Looking ahead to the Sweet 16, pretty much everybody's bracket's busted. I think I thought I heard somewhere that like 19% of all brackets had Michigan State winning.
A lot of people had Michigan State winning. The president had Michigan State in the Final Four.
Well, he's the dumbest person on the planet.
He didn't have them winning, though.
No,
so
he did not.
That's good for him. Kansas, Maryland, Miami, Villanova, Oregon, Duke, Texas A&M. Did you see the finish to that game?
Northern
Iowa.
Oh my God, I watched that yesterday. It was crazy.
I saw the highlights. That was really cool. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, UNC, Indiana, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Virginia, Iowa State, and Gonzaga, Syracuse.
I asked you guys about Gonzaga before I filled out the brackets, and you guys said, they're not. They're one and done. Don't even worry about them. And I had a feeling that I should have went with the opposite, but I didn't, and I screwed myself.
Well, it was really a toss-up. I think Gonzaga, they're not going to go to the Final Four, I don't think. Or I guess, I don't know. You never know now.
I got Oklahoma, Virginia, North Carolina, and Kansas. And then I got Kansas beating North Carolina with a combined 170 points, I think.
Is there any of these games that you actually want to watch?
The Elite Eight. The Sweet 16 is cool. The first couple rounds are kind of, you don't know who's who. Like, there's a bunch of garbage teams playing. I mean, it's fast. It's interesting. It's entertaining, but I'm not going to sit there and watch all these games.
I mean, I think if you want to isolate a couple of these games to watch, the West really I think is going to be the most interesting because they actually have their top 4 teams still in it. Oregon Duke will be interesting because Oregon I think is still kind of an unknown to everybody, and Duke, who has kind of had a down year. Do you think Duke pulls off? I mean, are they underdogs in this one?
Well, they're a lower seed.
I get that, but they're still Duke.
Them because Duke's a more serious of a program than Oregon. What has Oregon always been relevant like this in basketball?
No.
I think Duke could beat their ass if you want me to be honest.
I think that would be a good game to watch because Duke is always in it. Oklahoma, Texas A&M, just because of Buddy Hield. That guy can go off at any time.
You could never discount Duke, but I do have them losing in this round. I think Oregon's going to look to make a statement and play a really solid game. They played pretty good up until this point, so I have them advancing. But you can never discount Mike Krzyzewski. I mean, if they advance, I wouldn't be too shocked.
I got Duke winning that.
But Kansas,
St. Joseph's by 4 points.
Kansas and North Carolina are playing great. You think the powerhouses are going to get through. I don't see too many situations where an underdog besides, Carolina or Kansas are going to have a chance. Virginia's looking good. They're probably thrilled that Michigan State is out. They might have now a chance to make some waves and not be eliminated because they've been eliminated by State 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. They're playing okay, but I look to see big powerhouses in the Final Four.
What do you think the possibility of there being 2 Big Ten teams in the Final Four? Because you have Maryland, they're going up against Kansas, which that's going to be a tough slate.
Indiana.
And then Indiana going up against UNC, and Wisconsin going up against Notre Dame in the Eastern Conference.
I don't think teams.
Indiana has a shot.
The only team that might have a chance is Indiana, but no teams will end up in the Final Four from the Big Ten.
Could beat
what about
UNC?
No
way.
What about the Elite Eight? Do you think Wisconsin? I think Wisconsin.
They got a good chance.
They're a scrappy team. Just kind of like last year, they made it to the championship. They still have I think they have the ability to get hot, which I think that's what we didn't even talk about Michigan and.
Oh yeah, they won a game.
Yeah, they won the one of the first 4 games. In that Notre Dame game, it was kind of a tale of 2 halves because Michigan kind of smoked Notre Dame in the first half, and then the tables just turned, and they couldn't finish it.
If you're a fan of Michigan basketball, you've seen that game quite a bit. But what was nice to see was you saw the potential in that first half. But after the adjustments, Michigan was fatigued. They stopped making shots. Their defense became lax. And it was a situation where they peaked in that first half. And that's what happens when you have a jump shooting team and the shots stop falling and you look fatigued and you don't play well on defense. Teams that do not play well on defense don't last long in the tournament. You have to be able to buckle down. And so for Michigan, hey, they got a victory out of it. They lasted technically longer time-wise than Michigan State, but they were one and done. And, a lot of people are saying that there's a lot of hope in Michigan with their recruiting class and a bunch of young guys.
That's what they got to do, though. Beeline needs to recruit more players, and the years when they're purely jump shooting teams, it's boom or bust. Either when they're on, they're a fun team to watch, but when they're not, when shots aren't falling, it's a horrible product. And you saw that the one year that they made the run and they made it to the national championship game, they had Mitch McGary. and he was their down low presence. And it's kind of like the way that the Pistons play.
Their foreign import looked strong in that first half. I was like, oh, this guy has a little bit of ability. If he develops with the guys that they're bringing in, Michigan's going to have a bright future. I like the way John Beilein coaches, but I just don't like the philosophy. I don't like jump shooting teams, but if they can mix in, an inside presence and bring in guys that can, assist the team defensively, this team could do some damage. I'm not going to discount Michigan and John Beilein, but this year was a wash, and when it goes away to injury. But the good thing is Michigan State's established. You can kind of count on them to retool and have hope that they're going to go farther in the tournament. Michigan, you got to have a lot of hope, and you got a lot of questions as to what's going on over there. So if you're a Michigan fan in basketball, you might have to have a little bit more patience with them.
So who's the craziest team that's going to be in the Final Four?
That's going to be in the Final Four? Well,
Yeah.
I already have that. Oh, they could be possibly in the Final Four?
Yeah. I mean,
Probably Gonzaga. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that Gonzaga-Syracuse matchup.
Syracuse,
If one of those teams, I think whoever comes out of that matchup, they'll give Virginia a run for their money, I think.
I don't know, man.
I honestly think it could be Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is going to be could be that kind of dark horse team that comes out.
What do you think about Oklahoma? They've been playing pretty good.
I like Oklahoma, but I mean,
They're not really a dark horse,
Right.
but tournament-wise, they haven't made a lot of deep runs in the recent past.
I would actually like to see Oklahoma because I don't understand Oregon as a number one.
Mhm.
They're not a basketball school. It doesn't make sense.
That's why they're going to lose to Duke. Duke's at least going to cover that spread.
How's
Yeah.
your bracket looking?
No, they're bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah, I picked
roughly how
Michigan
many?
State in every single one of my brackets.
Do you have over 10, over 8 teams in the Sweet 16 of your teams? I got 11, so I had some of the upsets.
I think I usually have half in the brackets that I have.
I told Adam I'd reveal my strategy. You want to know what I did this year?
You just pick teams.
No, I actually filled out the bracket this year. I spent all of 5 minutes because I always say in the past I'd overanalyze it. So this year I filled out the entire bracket with all the favorites winning. And then I went back and selected just a couple upsets here and there. And so I spent literally 5 minutes, just go click, 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 click. I had State going in, and then I had a couple 5-12 upsets and a couple upsets in a couple rounds. But all in all, I had a lot of the teams that were favored to win advancing. And it really kind of shaked out where the left side of the bracket was kind of more true to form. And I know the Midwest was just decimated. So I only had really that Midwest bracket was devastated. The rest is kind of been true to form for the most part, and it's gotten me some success. I think that if you overanalyze it, it might be hurtful in a bracket challenge.
I
and
can't
things like
believe you didn't take Holy Cross to beat Oregon. You guys are so stupid.
that. No, I don't. I think that sometimes you do overanalyze things, and I just made it real simple, and so far so good. I'm pretty happy. I think ahead in the Detroit Sports Podcast Network Challenge, so I'm pretty happy. But there is a guy that everyone on the network chose Michigan State except one guy, Vito. And he might have the strongest chance of winning it
I
all.
didn't pick him either.
Oh, that's good. You might have a chance of winning it all. But so
But I
far,
don't know what the hell I'm talking about with the NCAA.
Are you satisfied with how you picked the bracket, or not really this year?
I'm done with brackets, honestly. I don't really want to look at it anymore.
That's right.
I picked Michigan State. Even if I would have picked Kansas in one of them, I would.
But it doesn't give you solace that everyone picked Michigan State, at least in the Final Four. Not too many people have them losing in like the Elite Eight to Virginia. Some people had them. The earliest most people had them losing was to Virginia. So it's not like busting your bracket for real.
I'm still honestly kind of checked out though. Michigan State losing because we had so high hopes. It makes me not really want to watch. It's upsetting.
But you do want to watch the Pistons, right?
I do want to start watching the Pistons more, and I have been actually following them more because I'm covering them. I'm on the broadcast.
Are you really?
Yes.
I had no idea. Well, the Pistons are 2 games over 500, and they're looking like they're starting to take care of business. Hopefully, the Chicago Bulls start losing some games because
That's
when the
what it looks
Pistons
like.
lose, the Bulls win, and when the Pistons lose or when the Bulls lose, so they're like neck and neck. So they need to take care. They need to take care of business tonight against Milwaukee if they want to get 3 games over 500 and go on a winning streak because they got the next 6 games at home.
Let's see, what's the
And their
East
schedule's
look like?
pretty easy at home.
Right now, they're literally like a percentage point behind the Bulls because
They played more games.
Yeah, we've played more. You got to hope that the Bulls fall off. That's what you get.
I don't
That's
know
what-
how good their bench is because our bench is really, really bad. And the Pistons.
Our bench has showed up, or at least in the last game.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's really the only way. That's the only reason that they won. Was it their
They
last
played
game?
Brooklyn though, man. I went to when they played the Sacramento Kings. I mean, I almost put $50 on it. Was they were favored by 6.5, and they won by 7. Every time they got up by double digits, Stan Van Gundy would take everybody out and put the bench in. I'm like, what are you doing? Get Baines and Steve Blake out of there, dude. You're going to cost me $50.
So after Michigan State lost, I see a picture of Vinny. Were you in the nosebleeds, bro? Were you at the highest
that's
level?
all I can afford, man. Leave me alone. I work at AM radio. And I've had to buy other tickets, too.
Oh, okay.
So give me a break.
I mean, the game against the Nets, yeah, you're playing the Nets. They're 19-50.
Were you in the nosebleeds?
But the bench really, they stepped it up, and it was that second lineup because the first, they almost kind of lost that game.
Against the Kings or the
against
Hawks?
the Nets. Because they came out hot in the first, and then Brooklyn kind of made a run in the second.
They lost to the Hawks.
But then you had the lineup of KCP, Anthony Tolliver, Stanley Johnson, Aaron Baines, and Steve Blake.
Dude,
and
Baines and Blake are so bad. But the eyeball test, if you're at the game, you'd be like, dude,
Aaron
stop
Baines
this.
had 21 points.
Dude, eyeball
He had
test.
21 and 7
Against Sacramento?
against the
Brooklyn.
Nets.
I can do that, bro.
No, you can't.
Bro, if you would have went to the Kings game, you'd have been so infuriated. And yeah, it wasn't the nosebleeds. It was like all the way up. I was so embarrassed. The guy that I work for at the AM station, he's like a compulsive liar, but he said that he second row. I was looking for him the entire game. I was screaming his name and calling him a liar. And I looked down and I seen him. I was like,
But I
there
think
he
that's
is.
what you want to see from this team is you want to see the game against the Kings. Your starters are the ones who carried it. But then on a back to back on the back end of the back to back, the first unit they didn't have it, and the bench was actually able to come in and provide that depth.
Mhm.
And I think if they can even that out, if you can get a little bit more consistency from Anthony Tolliver and Aaron Baines, I think Reggie Bullock has been underrated too. He's shooting the lights out when he gets the chance.
Yeah, he's all right.
It's gonna be tough coming down. It's getting harder for me to stand by my prediction that they're not going to make the playoffs
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
because
really,
I think they are getting better.
yeah, they are. It was really hard for me to buy those tickets after they got blown out by 43 points to Washington.
I find it hard to actually go to one of those games because NBA games are not.
It's
fun.
been getting fun, man. They're in the playoff race the first time since 2009. You got to give them some props, man.
Did you have fun at the game, Vinny?
Hell
Was it fun?
yeah, I went to 2 of them in the last 2 weeks. I want to go again.
What made it fun for you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, secret. Your company that you're keeping, huh?
Yeah, well, whatever. I
You
don't
had some
talk about
fun?
it. No, actually, the first time I did. The second time was a disaster.
Was there enough space if you wanted to do something to have some fun?
What?
Were you crowded with a lot of fans next to you?
Oh, the nosebleeds? No,
Were you
not
putting your
really.
jacket over your lap and
There's the what's it fit? 20,000 people in the Palace. I'd say like 7,000 people are going, and then they get the nosebleeds on the one half on where the opponent bench is at. No one sits up there, so they have a band play up there, like literally a band with a stage. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
So right now they're playing Milwaukee as we're recording.
Well, they played Milwaukee last night.
They're
We gotta
they're
hurry
playing
this
them
up so
right
we can
now.
watch the Bucks. No, they played yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're playing as they're recording.
Okay.
And then they have Orlando Wednesday, Charlotte on Friday, and the Hawks on Saturday. I'm hoping that they at least split it. And really, you're going to have to look at winning this Bucks game in the Magic because the last time they played Charlotte just
That
manhandled
was
them.
ridiculous.
And the Hawks game, it was...
Pistons are down by 4.
They played okay in that Hawks game, offensively at least, but in that game, nobody wanted to play defense.
No, they just refused. And that's another problem I had with them.
They don't
You
want to
never-
play defense.
No, and you never know what you're going to get out of them. Like one night that their offense takes off, but if they're off, they're off. Their defense feeds off their offense. If their offense ain't doing anything, their defense ain't doing anything.
Yeah.
And when Drummond's on, they'll send his ass to the line, and guess what he's going to do? Miss free throws. So they bench him for Aaron Baines. And without the 21-point game against the Brooklyn Nets, Aaron Baines, watching him, my eyeballs, he is nothing short of atrocious. And I can imagine how bad he is on the road because I haven't really watched too many road games this year.
So they're 2-1 on this current homestand.
Mm-hmm.
With 6 games left, including the Bucks game right now. What do you think they're gonna finish out with this overall in the 9-game homestand? Because this is including
I hope they go 6-3.
Charlotte, Atlanta, Oklahoma City, and Dallas.
So right now they're 2-1. So if they win tonight, they'd be 3-1. That's the kind of game they'd lose, though. Orlando, Charlotte, I'd go 5-4, hoping they go 6-3. But it's really hard for me to take them serious.
If they go 5-4, it's going to be really, really, really tight
Dude,
coming down in the stretch because you got 6 games left, all against teams that are pretty close to you in the standings. You got Chicago, Miami, Orlando again, Washington, who hopefully Washington will be out of it by that point, and then Miami and Cleveland. You might get a break with Cleveland in that last game of the season because they're likely going to have that number 1 spot locked up. You might not have to face some of their players.
But now, to really make a statement regarding this team, the biggest problem that you're seeing, yes, they're inconsistent, but on defense, they're giving up points left and right.
Dude, I talked about it all year long.
Yeah,
Where have you been?
I know, but it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse.
No kidding.
I thought it would have gotten better by now. Coach them up, because everyone that you talk to says, well, when you talk about defense, it's not really about scheme. It's about effort.
Bro,
why aren't they giving effort? What's going on here?
Every offense look like the Harlem Globetrotters.
How many times can Stan Van Gundy, though, come on the post game and say, our defense is awful. We're not going to make the playoffs if we play like this. How many times can he do that?
I don't know, because it's the message is not getting across.
So, I mean, I don't think that's Stan Van Gundy's issue, though. That's the team.
He's not a defensive guy. He was never a defensive guy in Orlando. He was the offensive guy, and you knew what you were getting when you got him.
So they're not going to fix it. Do you think they can make the playoffs and have success not playing any defense? I mean, they want to score 110 points a game. Makes it tough night in, night out. You're not playing great competition, but you got to step it up on defense. It's about communication, effort, hustle. It's really disappointing.
Jackson needs to step his game up, man.
It's disappointing,
be a leader.
yeah. It's very disappointing.
Won't do it. I remember I used to get so pissed off at Kelvin Johnson because I wanted him to do it. I get it with Matt Stafford now.
I don't know. I think something's wrong with Reggie. I think
he's got a bad attitude.
He
or
has
something.
some kind of. I know he's kind of sick
right now.
Yeah, because what was it? I think it was one of the recent games. It might have been the Hawks game where he was just like within like 5 minutes of the start of the game, he was just sweating profusely, and like he had to take a game.
He might drink a lot of beer.
Now, the point that has been talked about now in circles and everyone around the water cooler is, okay, we've seen Andre Drummond now. There's been games when we can't put him in late in games because of his free throw shooting. And so now he's coming up upon this contract. Everyone's been comparing, well, these are the guys that are going to get big money in the NBA. Does Andre Drummond warrant a max deal in the NBA? And should the Pistons give it to him? I'm starting to think, you know what? If he's a guy that deserves a lot of money, but a max deal is a guy that you're going to make the face of your franchise, and he's going to be a guy that's going to tie up a lot of money. You're going to expect great things from him. The fact that he hasn't improved at all, and the fact of the matter is he's kind of tapered off this year. I know he has a big ceiling, but I'm starting to question if we pay Andre Drummond that money, does he actually live up to the hype and actually give us a good return on investment? I'm starting to think no.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean,
why? What gives you that sign?
What year did he get drafted here? In 2012?
He's only 22 right now.
Yeah, he's worked really hard. He's got a great attitude. He's a great worker, and he's got, how many games have they played? 64? He's got about 50 plus double doubles.
Yeah,
I mean that's not growing off of trees, dude.
He's definitely a max deal. Somebody's gonna give him a max deal if we don't give it to him.
The Pistons should do it.
But needless to say, though, that is the part of his game that he needs to improve. He needs to get at least 50% at the free throw line, and 50% is bad.
I know. Come on.
Does he get there? That's the big problem.
Not this season,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what he needs to work on.
This is his third season. He drafted 9th in 2012. 12, 13, 14. His fourth year. So,
damn, was that 4 years ago already?
Yeah.
He's got to get the free throws are
old.
getting worse. Who is worse, him or Ben Wallace or Shaq?
He hasn't made a free throw since Wednesday.
Who?
Andre Drummond.
Oh my God, dude!
He only shot 7, but
he still missed all 7 of them.
Wednesday though was Wednesday was kind of where you want to see him though. It was where and that was the loss against Atlanta, where it was basically just a shootout.
Close game at the end, but again, because he's not there, Atlanta takes the game, a game that you really needed.
But that's kind of where you want to see him though. When they go to the Hackadrum,
Pistons are down by 9.
He shot 8 for 17 in that game.
Yeah,
which it's not great, but it's almost 50%. Is 50% where you want him shooting, or what?
I'll take it over 30. Where's he at? 34% right now.
For the month of March, that he's at 35%.
Oh, I'll take 50 any day over that.
Which he only shot 50 in the month of November, and that was only 3 games.
So you guys are okay. Cut him a check, and then see what happens.
You have no choice. You built this team around him.
He's he's the face of the franchise. Reggie Jackson isn't the face of the franchise.
No, he's not. Very good point. I'd rather have Steve Blake be the face of the franchise.
If
or
you
Joel
if you
Anthony.
don't give the money to Andre Drummond, I think you set this team back almost to where it was before Stan got here.
Not quite that bad. But what was the point of getting rid of Greg Monroe then?
Yeah.
So you have to give him that big money. You don't have a choice.
See, that's
Shoot free throws like he doesn't want it.
See, I think that's my conservative side, and my thinking is that, okay, if I give somebody hands down a max deal, I want him to be known already. You're giving it to him on the come, meaning that you hope.
Yeah.
I knew I'd get you guys to start laughing. You're giving it to him. You're giving it to him, hoping that he is going to be good, like Vinny, hoping that he's going to be successful. You see what I'm saying? Exactly.
Dude, you got me watching WWF over here.
See,
Greg Monroe
I'm nervous
is so
giving him
much better at the free throw percentage.
Yeah.
That's sad.
He's playing in Milwaukee right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
They're beating our ass right now. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't give him that deal. That's just my opinion now. I think that
Why
he's
not? What are you going to do then? Draft another big man? They don't grow off of trees. The guy's got 50-plus double-doubles, man.
Who's the big man in Golden State?
I don't
They
know.
don't have
Draymond
one.
Green?
Yeah, there you go.
Andrew Bogut.
Well, there you go.
Isn't he the sixth man?
So you don't really necessarily, if you're going to have a shooting team, need a big man like that. It's nice to have, but if you're going to give him that much money, I hope that he's going to really work hard and earn it. But
I just want to see him get in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they get swept by Cleveland. Just get in. Yeah, if they get into the playoffs this year, you don't have a choice but to re-sign the guy.
okay, we'll see.
You're the second year of Van Gundy. You get him in the. This will be a major disappointment if they don't get in the playoffs this year. All right, when we come back, we're gonna do Lions, Tigers. Right? We're not gonna do the.
Doc or Duck.
Yeah, we're not doing the Red Wings. Lions, Tigers,
Doc or Duck.
Doc or Duck. Pros
Dick or
and cons, length or girth. Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Doc here for FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports official outfitter and the official outfitter of the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. If you have any online shopping needs, you want to support all the great Detroit teams, all the great college teams, then you have one place you need to go to, FanaticU.com. This Friday, they have a signing at the Fraser location. They got 6 locations all across Metro Detroit. If you're a fan of the Red Wings, Luke Glendening will be doing an autograph signing at the Fraser location this week, Friday. Fraser location, Fanatic U. If you're a fan of the Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, Lions, go check out their online shop. And this month, for the month of March, select Detroit Tigers gear. If you purchase it, use the promo code POD online. That's promo code POD, and you'll save 15% off select Detroit Tigers items. FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports official outfitter. Now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant.
Wow, I'm watching wrestling. Motor City Sports Rant. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. I feel like such a badass. What is this?
Van Halen.
Turn this up. You get naked. You ever play the air guitar butt naked when you get out of the shower?
Not really. Not lately.
No, I can't say I have.
I do that all the time. I gotta stop
Did you
doing
ever play Rock Band or Guitar Hero?
that. Yeah.
You did. I
Guitar Hero 3.
That'd be fun.
I had
You ever
Guitar
played?
Hero
Did
3.
you ever try playing in an expert?
Dude, my friend would smoke weed. I don't smoke weed, but he would smoke weed and play it on Hyper Speed 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. He never missed a note. It was pretty intense.
It is kind of like an idiot savant type thing on those type things.
On games, yeah, you're not kidding.
I did just won. I won my second Madden Super Bowl
Really?
last night.
On Rookie
No.
or All Madden?
I think it's the second. It's like the one right below All Madden.
All Pro?
Are you Xbox guy or PS guy?
I like them both, but I am more an Xbox guy.
I'm more of a PlayStation person because of the camera situation with Microsoft. That kind of creeps me out. I was playing my friend.
I don't have the Kinect.
Huh?
I don't have the Kinect.
What are you talking about, the
Oh.
camera situation?
Well, my friend, we were playing Madden. That's all we ever played. And his girlfriend would come home from work, and she would walk past the camera and would say, "Hello, Brenda," to her when she walked past him. And I was like, whoa, dude, that is crazy. And you know how your controller shut off sometimes? I was sitting there playing. I was playing him, and the controller shut off. He goes, "Dude, you got to sit in front of the camera. The controller shuts off." I go, "What? I can't play the damn game unless the camera's on me?" I'm like, "That's like
This is on play. Or
that's like illegal."
Xbox?
Yeah, with the what the hell is that thing called? The Kinect?
Yeah, I don't have the Kinect.
Yeah, I don't trust Microsoft, dude.
Whatever. It's a game.
I'm a PS guy. I got a PS3 though. I haven't.
You would be.
Yeah, PlayStation. They're sweet. I've always loved the
Sony's
controllers.
way better than Microsoft.
You get used to it, and that was I found because I have the Xbox One. I'm just kind of used to that controller. I had the PS3 too, which was essentially the same thing as the PS2 and the regular PlayStation controllers. My brother-in-law has a PS4 though. I went and played it, and it's a lot different now. It's got like the little touch screen on it, and the triggers are all different.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was always a Sony person, and then the Xbox One was cheaper than PS3, so I cheated and went with the Xbox 360. And I was like lying and telling her, yeah, Xbox 360 is way better than PS3, man. You guys are great. And then the PS4 is cheaper than the Xbox One. So now I'm back to Sony again.
So if we throw out a DSP poll on our Twitter page at Detroit Podcast, what do you think the majority of our listening audience who follows us on our Twitter page via social media, what do you think most people are? Most people are Xbox people, or most people are Sony and PlayStation?
I would say Sony now because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I'd probably say people like PlayStation.
We'll see.
And
okay.
It's really, I like them both. I just like playing video games.
I haven't played games in a long time. I still play NES because I got a Nintendo Wii and it's hacked, and I got all the old original games. I play Tecmo Super Bowl on it all day long.
I don't have a lot of time. There's so many games out there that I want to play. I got the Star Wars Battlefront, which I played for like 2 weeks, and now I hardly play it. The only reason I really play Madden consistently is because I play the Connected franchise online with a couple buddies.
It's the end of the first quarter. Guess what the score is between Milwaukee and the Pistons?
Is it 32-21?
Damn, you're pretty close. 30-17.
That's yeah, it is pretty close, which I'm not that surprised.
Dude, unbelievable. No defense, no offense. When one doesn't do one, the other one doesn't.
They always have one of those quarters though. If have you noticed that?
Yes,
the Pistons, they always they'll score like 25 to 30 points in a quarter, but they'll always have one quarter where they score like 19.
Dude, Milwaukee's 10 games under fucking 500. And they're at home.
They have good players, though.
They don't want to go to the playoffs.
Greg Monroe, they had the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Fuck him.
Hey, he's better than a lot of guys on our team.
Damn, dude.
But
they're so frustrating.
Let's talk to something that's a little bit more positive, right? Let's talk about the Lions.
Oh, God. Yep, they just signed Jeremy Curley. He was a wide receiver for the Jets for 1 year. I don't know how much money it was for. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet.
I think it was 1 year, $1 million.
Was it 1 year, $1 million? Well,
that's what I heard.
Like we had on Length or Girth last week or 2 weeks ago. Well, it was last week. Made more free agency signings, but no big splashes. I think it's probably the biggest name you're going to see.
And I don't think you're going to get that. You're more than likely Bob Quinn is just looking to fill holes right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of holes to fill.
But what I think this does bring up the question is you bring in Jeremy Curley. So now your wide receivers are Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, TJ Jones, Jeremy Curley, and then if you want to throw Corey Fuller in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is Laquan Treadwell really a realistic pick if he's there in the first round?
Yeah, he is, and that scares the living shit out of me, man. I'm not going to lie to you. It's realistic that they could draft a wide receiver because, dude, Marvin Jones or Golden Tate aren't number one wide receivers. They're going to struggle mightily, even with that easy schedule. I mean, I see them going 7-9 again. They don't have a
but
threat.
they may not need to get that number one receiver.
They don't have a big running back either. That's a big problem.
And they can address that in the draft somewhere.
I hope you're right, dude.
But
I don't know.
I think with the signing of Jeremy Curley is actually it kind of points to they're not going to go Laquan Treadwell if he's there at number one. I think there's a lot of guys in that draft that they could be targeting a wide receiver. I really don't think they're going number one. Because I think, you look at even Aaron Burbridge, they could take a flyer on him later. And I think it'd probably be a better situation than trying to put all your eggs in the basket of Megaquan? I think I heard that nickname that people were already going to give it to him.
And Stephen Tolik's still on the team, dude. They didn't get rid of him. So what's up with that?
Lots of rumors regarding him and that his agents may be talking with the Lions still. I got a feeling maybe Caldwell wants him around for locker room type stuff. And he's great in the community and things like that, but his performance on the field, he should have been cut already. Maybe they just keep him on to get him some extra money, then cut him. I don't know, but that's very weird. That's very weird he's still on the team.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I disagree with you guys, though. I don't think Laquan Treadwell will be a Detroit Lion.
I don't think so either.
I think
it's a possibility if he's still on the board. He asked me if he's still on the board.
I say no. I still say no.
I think they're going to go for an offensive tackle. That's what it's saying on M Live right now.
That's a much better spot. Even if you're going to go offense, which I wouldn't do, but if you go offense, then I would be more inclined to take an offensive tackle because Stafford was running all over the place last year.
Oh my God,
anything but a wide receiver. My God, that'd be frustrating.
What would you do if they drafted a wide receiver in the first round, Jason? I mean, seriously, what the hell would you do if they went behind your back again. I feel like somebody in my family dies every time I watch them draft a wide receiver in the first round, and they never cease to amaze me, man.
If they draft Laquan Treadwell,
You're gonna be pissed.
it
right?
would be upsetting.
Are you gonna break anything in the house?
No, because I'd at least give him the shot. Because Laquan Treadwell is clearly the best wide receiver in the draft. If they went out and drafted maybe who's the other guy? It's the Will Fuller from Notre Dame.
Fuller, yeah.
If they drafted him in the first round, let's say, or here's a situation: Laquan Treadwell's already picked up. They trade down into the first round, and they get like the 25th pick, and they use that on Will Fuller. Then I'd be upset.
Mm-hmm.
So if they take anybody besides Laquan Treadwell, it'd still be disappointing, but I'd let it play out. Kind of like I let Ebron play out that first season.
Oh,
it burned
dude.
us, but
You know what one of the worst parts of the weekend was when Michigan State lost? Eric Ebron was throwing shade. He sent out a tweet on his Twitter page of a GIF file of Kevin Hart or somebody just shaking their head. Of Kanye West. He had a GIF file of Kanye West just shaking his head in disappointment. I'm like, of all people.
he's a big fucking disappointment.
Yeah, of all people. Yeah, of all people to throw shade. How are you going to do that? I couldn't believe it. I
Dude,
wondered.
he's all over social media talking shit.
I couldn't believe it. Kevin Hart, though, got off a good blast on State, dude. That was nice.
That was hilarious.
You
bro.
saw it? Yeah, you seen it?
Yeah, did
You
you
see
see
it?
it? Meme I sent to you guys earlier about the Vry University. He's like, how the hell did you guys lose?
He sent out a tweet that State fans haven't been this mad since they got their denial letters from Michigan.
That was
to his
hilarious.
millions and millions
Who,
of
Kevin Hart
followers.
said that?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
Tweeted out
that was the only funny thing
to
he's
the
ever,
nation.
That was literally the only funny thing he's ever said.
How is that?
That makes me upset.
Dude, did you
I
see this?
actually like Kevin Hart.
See? You should reply to that.
That is upsetting.
Did you
I might
see that
have
lady
to.
shoot that person in the car in Detroit at that gas station?
Man, that video's scary, dude.
Holy hell, man. Those people are savages, bro. Stay out of Detroit. Everybody, please do not go there.
My goodness.
Oh, my God. It's crazier than hell. She just shot that person like it was nothing.
Now, Vinny, would you guys be upset? A lot of people are saying, okay, Jack Conklin has been rising up the draft
That's
board.
who I'm seeing.
Do you think if the Lions take him, that would be an acceptable draft pick for
I
the
think
Lions?
so because I think that you guys want to have one of the best coaches in NCAA.
A lot of people in the water cooler are like, well, he's okay, but he looks like a Riley Reif 2.0.
I don't
a little bit
know.
undersized, maybe is just a little bit shy
Is Conklin
athletic wise.
undersized? You're talking about Jack Conklin, right?
Yep, Jack
Is he
Conklin.
undersized?
Not the biggest of guys in terms of offensive
They
linemen.
need big offensive linemen, man, like Dallas, dude. You can't run the ball. They always draft these undersized linemen. If they do draft linemen, which they hardly ever do.
And the reason why they do that, though, is because when you have a shorter passing game, then you don't need a guy that's going to be barreling. But if you're going to focus on what wins championships, which is a strong running game, then you want a bigger offensive lineman that can handle the run game. Right now, the way the Lions are set up, they need those shorter guys, those smaller guys, because they need more guys that can be effective pass blockers.
Where did Kevin? I didn't see that. Where it's on his Twitter?
It's on his Twitter.
I miss
maybe
John
he
at
deleted
best,
it
dude.
because I just went to his Twitter page.
You followed Kevin Hart on
No,
Twitter?
I went to his Twitter page. You can go to anyone, this whole internet thing.
I usually just go on xnxx.com and follow me there on Bukkake.
So you guys are okay? Jack Conklin, they signed him. He's good.
I'd be fine
I
with
would.
that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, they need to get their running game together.
I don't know. He must have deleted this tweet.
Yeah,
Let's talk something else now.
Okay, let's do pros and cons real quick and get it out of the way. You ready to do this?
Sure.
Pistons
Do you have
are
any music,
trash.
or what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear?
Just
for
put
pros
on
and
some
cons?
disco music or something and get
Disco
butt naked.
music.
Just anything
Let's-
ridiculous.
I can give you some disco music.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
God,
I'll
they're
give you disco
so
music.
garbage, bro. You don't have FSD?
Here you go.
Sakura. Yes. Stitcher, Podomatic, and iTunes. Listen. Pros and cons brought to you by pornography.org. Pornography.org. That's O-R-G. Pornography.org.
There's ladies on the television now.
Oh my God, what I would not do to their rectums. Question number one. This is not length of girth. 76ers have 9 wins on the season, and it has nothing to do with my pro, which is they're out of the tournament with Michigan. People wanted John Beilein fired, and I was one of them, and I still kind of wouldn't mind to see him get fired. They beat Tulsa, and which was the wild card of the tournament. So my pro is John Beilein getting the boys to win a game for Michigan.
My pro is KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Nice.
He's been scoring lately, and It has been at home. We still want to see him do it on the road. And hopefully this prolonged road trip will just turn it around for him.
I love Katavious
He
Caldwell
is
Pope.
my pro.
He's a very good pro indeed. My con is your Michigan State Spartans losing to Middle Tennessee State. You pussies. That's my con.
My con would actually be Middle Tennessee State. Because, yeah, they beat Michigan State, but then they followed it up by just getting manhandled by Syracuse.
Syracuse just dipped their orange balls all over their faces and just it was ridiculous.
That is their mascot, isn't it? Just an orange ball?
No, dude. I haven't watched Syracuse since they had Carmelo Anthony and Donovan McNabb. That'll do it for pros and cons. Are you ready for Lang?
No, we're not there yet.
Shit. I want to go
You
watch
are.
the Pistons game.
Why? They're losing.
Because I'm a loser and I don't have a life, bro. I
You
don't
are a
know.
loser.
Am I really?
This is the best part of the show. I look forward to it every week. I sent you the text, Jason. I think you might have deleted it. Probably because he got a lot of hate from them state people.
Probably.
Probably like,
That's a harsh thing to say.
That's the truth. Take it up the ass. That's what you
Can't-
get for blocking our punt.
can't get trolled like that.
See, the thing is,
You can't. Shut up. You can do whatever you want. It's Twitter. Who cares?
it has nothing to do with sports.
If you said it about Michigan, you guys wouldn't be crying. Who cares? The guy does. He's not even a talent. Who cares?
Oh, whatever. What are we doing next? Are we gonna do the new segment that we tried last year?
Oh yeah.
Is the Doc gonna try and redeem himself?
Always, let's compete.
And here it goes. Here's the second edition of the Doc versus the Duck. And just like last week, I got 3 questions, and we didn't do a coin flip. I think I might want to just give this one to John to go first because he's the reigning loser.
Well, you taint.
The reigning 1 week loser, Doc.
It's right here.
What's up?
Jarvi.
I saw it. You know, he sent it to me. I saw it. But anyways, back to this. So first question on Doc or Duck. Again, I will judge these questions, and we'll see who wins. First question. Doc, are you ready?
Always. What do you got?
Where, with the Pistons playing the Bucks right now, what's the score, Vinny?
It was just 36-22. It's 36-22.
So they're currently losing
And
to
the
the
Bulls
Bucks.
are beating the Kings.
And the Bulls winning, which is not good. Where
Jump out of this
do
window.
the Pistons finish this season, and why?
Who's going first?
If you paid attention,
If you grab my balls.
if you pay attention, Doc's going first. They're going to finish just outside the playoffs. I'm a guy that believes strongly in defense. This is a team that's too inconsistent, and when it comes down to it, I know they're playing a lot of games at home, but I'm a guy that's just watching, and I'm realistic. I believe this team is not playing well on defense at all. They're not gelling at the right times. You want to see a team on the uptick? So this team will finish exactly at 42 wins and 40 losses. And they're going to be just outside the playoffs, missing it by half a game. 9th place, another disappointing season for your Detroit Pistons. Can't play well on defense, can't gel together. You're not making the playoffs.
Can you give me the final countdown for this?
I can.
It's by Europe.
I know.
Okay, we're both really gay.
Why do you need music to answer a question?
Because it's the Pistons. They used to come out together in the championship. Listen,
This better be good to make us wait for this. Here we go.
Listen.
I could
Everybody
just
be
sing it for
quiet.
you.
everybody
You're a dick.
that's listening to the Detroit Sports Podcast right now, everybody that's listening to the Motor City Sports Rant, if you're at the gym, if you're driving, I want you to take your shirt off, unbuckle your jeans, and listen to this. The Pistons will win 43 games and lose 39 and get into the playoffs by a half a game on the Chicago Bulls. They're going to go 6-3 at home. And I don't know the rest of their schedule, but I don't give a shit. We're going to the playoffs. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast. Rant.com, you bitches.
I love in the competition. You're like 6-3. When Jason asks you when you're serious, you're like 5-4. I don't see him doing nothing. Nice job, flip flopper.
Too bad it's only
up,
the
ball
first
tugger.
question.
I won, no doubt. Let's go on to number 2.
I do have to give it to the doc.
You son of a bitch. How come every time someone does good, you shun them and give it to the other person?
You were all show.
Oh.
And it
was a good show,
right.
though.
You are kind of a flip flopper.
I like that, though. I like that show, though. It was good.
Vinny, you're going next.
Cock or cook?
Question number 2. Does, with the Middle Tennessee State loss, the two losing to a 15, does Tom Izzo need to win another championship to be considered one of the greatest coaches of all time in college basketball? Or, is he already there?
You said top 15 tops, maybe. No, I think maybe top 20 of all time. He definitely needs to win another one to be considered in the top 15. Maybe a top 10 all time in the Big Ten, but definitely not top 15 of all time. I think he definitely has to win one more, and I don't think he's going to.
Oh, Vinny, this one's an easy
Well, the
layup.
guy's talking about. I keep hearing things. He's going to leave. He's going to go to the Cavaliers. He's
You
going
just
to go
gave
to
me
the
a
NBA.
layup. No, he doesn't need to win another title to be
shut up.
considered
Of course
great.
he's gonna agree
He's
with you.
taken several teams to the Final Four. He has had significant runs in the NCAA tournament, given us so many great memories.
Bro, you just lost to the worst team in the tournament besides Holy Cross, but
it
the best team
happens
I've ever seen.
to everybody.
I don't care. That team was too talented.
State
should have been number 1.
Does not have to win another tournament to validate Tom Izzo. This is a guy that is a leader of men, brings along at one point. The streak recently ended. At one point, if you had stayed all 4 years at Michigan State, you were guaranteed at least to be in the Final Four. It just ended, that streak. And so Tom Izzo has laid a foundation. He built a program basically from nothing. Judd Heathcote was a solid college basketball coach, was only able to do so much. Won the 1979 NCAA tournament, but the ability to sustain that success in this era, Tom Izzo is amazing with all the Final Four appearances, all the great memories, the title, and you got to remember 2010 or 2009 was able to at Ford Field take a team all the way to the final game versus North Carolina in Detroit. And early in the history of Ford Field,
you won.
you had an opportunity to come home, provide us with a lot of great memories. Tom Izzo is great. Michigan State basketball is great. This is just a blip on the radar. It's current, so it looks bad. But in the end, this will just be a blip on the radar. Tom Izzo and Michigan State will rise again, and you can believe that.
Well, you seem pretty sure of yourself there, Doc. But,
Positive.
I'm giving this one to the Duck.
Why?
Because he is a very, very good coach, but I think you have to reserve great for guys like Mike Krzyzewski, Bob Knight. So, in interest of this segment, this one goes to Vinny Stubbs.
Bro, I can't get a read on
easy.
you, Jarvi. I cannot get a
Man,
read
you're
on you.
just
Listen,
upset.
Just
always
focus,
goes with the opposite of what I think he's going to pick.
Focus on giving good answers, Vinny. You don't have to worry about Jason. Jason's going to make his decision based on what he thinks. Just give good answers like you have
I
been.
didn't think about that.
So, last question of Doc or Duck. John, this is your last chance to make it up. I'm expecting great things from you. So,
Sorry to disappoint.
aside from a beer, what food do you need at a tailgate?
Oh.
Give me one
Okay.
food. Don't
One
give me a
food?
bunch of them.
Okay.
Give me one food that you need at a tailgate.
Okay. You can make me put on my thinking cap here. I don't go to too many tailgates. I definitely like my beers, but you definitely need hamburgers. I'm a big burger guy. You definitely can just put them on a grill and you season them just right. You definitely need hamburgers at a tailgate. I go to Michigan State to tailgate, and what we do is we let out a spread of a lot of foods. A lot of nachos, a lot of burgers, a lot of
He
hot
said
dogs.
one. Shut up.
Yeah, if you have the one food, you got to do great hamburger.
So what do you have like all the condiments on these for these hamburgers, or what?
Now,
what are
the
you
majority
doing?
of people love cheese, love grilling it, and then putting the cheese on just as the burger's just about to be done.
Yeah.
Get the melted cheese covered,
Right.
and all the condiments. Of course, you got the ketchup, the mustard, the pickles, the onions.
Right, relax. He is so silly.
I love a good burger because what goes great with the beer? A great burger. And if you got someone that knows how to cook it just right, medium well, then you're in heaven, man. And I'm a big burger guy. But my favorite condiment though is actually onions. I love onions on my burgers. So hamburger.
Are you talking fresh onions or are you talking like grilled onions?
No, I like them better. I like them better fresh.
with semen on him.
Okay, Vinny, it's a big one.
All right,
You got
one food.
You gotta come strong here.
I'm coming strong. I already got the answer.
Okay, good. I'm glad you Googled it.
What do you mean?
Google it.
I'm going with the bratwurst, dude. You got to be kidding me. And I'm not talking about a Johnsonville bratwurst. I'm talking about like a Rinaldi's or a Cantoro's sausage, dude. I mean, you cannot go wrong. Smothered in onions, ketchup and mustard, green peppers, dude. I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer, and it's sausage.
I like both of your answers. I'm not gonna lie.
You love sausage.
I enjoy both foods that you just gave.
But just go with your preference. It doesn't matter. We both gave great answers. Mine was much more better, better delivered.
He's not talking about real burger. He's talking about like the frozen pucks they sell at Aldi's.
I'm thinking of, I have a burger right in front of me, and I have a bratwurst in front of me, and what do I want to eat first? And the win gonna go to John Macaron.
You son of
Yeah, the doc.
I love
On the
a good
board.
burger.
You
I
have
love
to.
I do like a bratwurst. I'm a big fan of spicy mustard.
That's not fair.
I have to give it to the burger though.
I gotta boycott.
I like a good cheeseburger. If either one of you would have given like a sub, like a big party sub, I enjoy party subs. Chili's a good tailgate food.
Damn it.
But you gotta
That
go
was
with the
exciting
burger.
down the board there, Vinny. You gave a great answer. I actually thought you would get the win.
I was actually just gonna say just drink beer and don't eat at all.
Well, that's why I had to preface it by beside a beer,
Well,
because
that's
I knew
tough to do.
I knew that's what you would have said. You would have said, "Well, I'm just going to drink beer."
You gotta go with the Budweiser, man. It goes really good with the gash.
Awesome.
we're tied
I want
to one.
I want to thank everybody.
I like to thank Box Glasses.
I like to thank Vinny actually for motivating me to give good answers.
I like to
Thank
thank
Jason.
watching Kurt Angle versus Kane on WrestleMania 18.
Thank you to WWE Network for keeping us entertained. Thank you to Twitter. Thank you to all the followers. Thank you. I look forward to defending my crown and representing the network in an honorable way. Thank you.
All right, let's do length or girth and hit the road here.
Should we do one more break and come back and do that, or
Finish
do
it.
we
Just finish it.
Let's finish
Let's
it
just
up.
do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll do length or girth real fast. We just want to tell everybody, thank you for supporting the network. All you got to do, Detroit Sports Podcast.
Oh, dude, thank
.com. That's all you got to do to support these fellas. They love doing it each and every week, going strong. What episode is this, 53, 54? We're in the 50s, and these guys are just, they love Detroit sports. They love breaking it down, and I greatly appreciate their time. What is going on with length or girth? Hit me up with that music. I look forward to hearing it every week. Oh, here it is.
I hope you got question number 3 because I only got question number 1 and 2.
Okay.
Oh, no. You already gave it to me.
Oh yeah.
It's no surprise that you guys lost to Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, but you guys were surprised. I wasn't. Actually, I was really surprised.
Duh.
I keep hearing these things swirling around, but I hear it after every season after you guys don't win the tournament. Tom Izzo and his tenure at Michigan State. Length or girth?
Length. He's gonna retire there. I think the last time that he was in talks for the NBA, that was the last time. I think he said he's gonna retire Spartan. So he's gonna be there as long as he wants. I think it would literally take like a scandal for him to be ousted there.
Length.
You're not in
retiring. Too bad. He's going to talk about my Spartans. He's going to be there forever. Length, baby.
Those Nugget jerseys weren't as ugly as I thought they were back in the day. Those are kind of sweet.
Ric Flair is going crazy. He's in pain.
Question number 2, Finster. Let's go.
I need to answer the question. I'm going length. I think the guy's going to retire Spartan. He's not going anywhere. Cleveland, go away. The Pistons are playing the Bucks right now, and they're getting their asses beat, so this question might be irrelevant by tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway because there's nothing going on in sports. And I hate March Madness, and I want it to go away and die in baseball to come. On my face. The Pistons winning streak, length or girth?
It'll probably be girth. Because they're always good for one of those letdowns. So give me girth on that.
Simple girth. Yeah, I agree. I would actually veto that question if I could.
Why?
It's not a good question.
What do you want me to do? There's
a
nothing going
500
on.
team, you're going to ask if they're going to have a long-ass winning streak? They're a 500 team.
Shut up.
Why would you ask that?
Because it's the Motor Shitty Sports Rant.
Oh.
Son of a bitch. All right. Mason's penis, lengthy or girth? Anibal Sanchez threw 4 scoreless innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. Does it translate into the regular season, and for how long? Length or girth?
I hope for length, but I'm probably going to say it's going to be girth. It's not going to last. He's going to get hurt. How many? Do you still have that sheet where we predicted all the wins for the pitchers?
What?
Last week when we predicted wins for
Did
pitchers.
you keep that? Where we wrote down how many wins?
It's at home.
Okay, good.
Well, I don't think I had a lot of wins for Anibal
You had
Sanchez.
13, I think, or 10.
Isn't a lot. So probably Girth.
I agree with Jarvi. Girth, one pitch away, man. He's not going to probably have even, 20 starts. We'll see.
I'm going to go. Well, I got to go length since you guys go, give me Girth. I don't see the guy playing all season. I think he's going to get sent down a couple times and get put on a DL. He's going to go on a 40-day DL. I just know it. That's Anibal Sanchez. I'm selling this tablet online right now. It's funny as hell. This one right here.
Yeah.
This girl says, if it's slow, it had a shit ton of viruses on it. I'm interested.
Oh. You know
wants to
who
look at
that
all
is?
the
Oh, yeah, it's
porn?
my buddy's girlfriend. She's funny. She's like a dude. What is this for?
For you and your laptop.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get rid of this piece of shit. Some skank bought it for me. I hope she dies of AIDS. I'm sick and tired
It's a
of
good way to
everybody.
end the show.
Yeah, thank you. You can cut that out if you want.
No, it's staying in.
All right. I'd like to thank pornography for keeping my mind so normal this week, because if not, without it, I'd probably lose my mind. So with that, may your penises be with you. May your penises be with you. I'm Vinny Stubbs. Sitting across from me is the king, Jason Jarvi. Sitting to the left of me is the WWE watcher, 36-year-old John Macaroon. Motor City Sports Rant.
Have a good week.
Podcast.com.
Okay, nice, idiot. You. Bye-bye.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.
And goodbye to anyone standing in John Cena's way when he takes on 6 men in a steel cage shoots and ladders match at WWE Super Slam. Order now and save $10 with a low price of just $49.99.